In the past, scientists warned us that Earth was getting hotter. Many ignored them, but now their warning has come true. The world's heating up, storms are stronger, and disasters, well, they're getting worse. From the hottest summer to big hurricanes and rising seas, prove that climate change is real and it's happening now. Some guesses were right, some were wrong, but one thing is clear, that our planet is in danger. What could happen next? Let's find out. In 1981, NASA scientist James Hansen and his team started studying global temperatures from 1880 to 1985. They saw that Earth was getting warmer by about 0.2 degrees Celsius every decade. Hansen warned that if pollution kept rising, the warming would continue or even speed up. Now his predictions have come true. Experts say that from 2014 to 2023, global temperatures went up by about 1.19 degrees Celsius compared to the past in 1850 to 1900. This shows that Earth is still warming at the same rate. Hotter temperatures have led to more extreme weather. The summer of 2024 was the hottest ever recorded. It was 0.69 degrees Celsius warmer than the average from 1991 to 2020. Heat waves, floods and wildfires hit many places including Europe and Australia. Millions of people suffered and damages, well, really huge. These facts show that early climate models were right. They also prove we must act fast to cut pollution and protect ourselves from climate change. Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005. The warm ocean waters helped it grow. Scientists like Kerry Emanuel warned that hotter seas would make storms stronger. By 2005, the Gulf of Mexico had very hot waters, which helped Katrina form quickly. In 2005, there were 28 storms and 15 hurricanes. 4 of them were Category 5. Katrina caused terrible damage. In New Orleans, levees broke and much of the city flooded. The storm caused $125 billion in damage and at least 1,392 lives were gone. Experts say the chance of such a season was less than 1%. This made 2005 unusual. Climate change made storms like Katrina stronger. We must act now to protect places from future storms like this. Sea levels are rising, and the effects are already here. In 1989, the UN warned that rising emissions could flood coastal areas in the future. We haven't seen this yet, but the sea is getting higher. Since 1900, sea levels have risen about 10 to 20 centimeters. It's about 4 to 8 inches. Now, this is because the oceans are warming and glaciers are melting. Some places see faster rises because of land sinking or currents. Coastal cities are already feeling the effects. In Miami, Florida, streets flood during high tides, even without storms. Now, Miami Beach, sitting just 4.4 feet above sea level, is hit hardest. The city is spending $500 million to install pumps, raise roads, and build seawalls. Rising seas also threaten freshwater sources. The Everglades, which provides water to Florida, are at risk. Salt water is getting into the Biscayne Aquifer, Miami's main water source. Efforts are underway to protect these resources, and this isn't just a Miami problem. Islands like Samoa and Tonga are seeing more flooding. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called it a worldwide catastrophe. Small islands are at risk of losing land, and legal issues are being discussed about shifting borders. Though the worst predictions of 1989 haven't happened, sea levels are rising. Coastal communities everywhere face flooding and water shortages. We must act now to protect the Earth. In the 1990s, scientists predicted that a warmer planet would dry out forests and grassland, especially in places like the western US, Australia, and the Mediterranean. A 1990 study warned that higher temperatures and changing rainfall could double the area burned by wildfires by the middle of the century. Today, those predictions are becoming true. In the western US, wildfires have grown much worse in the last 40 years. From 1985 to 2017, rising temperatures and dry weather caused more intense fires. These fires, well, they make it harder for forests to grow back. Australia has had worse bushfire seasons too. The 2019 to 2020 Black Summer fires are a good example. They killed 33 people, destroyed over 3,000 homes, and burned 17 million hectares of land. Experts say fire seasons like this could happen more often, with conditions like these in 2019 and 2020 becoming the norm by 2040. Also, research shows that wildfire smoke, made worse by global warming, is responsible for about 12,000 extra loss each year from breathing in the harmful particles. This shows the severe health risk of climate change and how much we need to act. These events match early climate predictions, showing a clear link between climate change and more frequent and intense wildfires in vulnerable areas. In 2007, the IPCC said Himalayan glaciers might vanish by 2035, but this was a mistake. It came from a 1999 interview with Syed Hasnain, who guessed the glaciers could melt due to warming. This idea was used in reports without checking. Now, the interview wasn't peer-reviewed science. Glaciologist George Kasser disagreed, calling the prediction wrong. He had warned about it in 2006. The IPCC admitted the mistake, saying the 2035 number was weak. But they still said glaciers are melting, which affects water for billions. Now, scientists have been warning us for years about the risk of climate change, and now some of these predictions may come true. Now, we will see what might happen to humanity in the near future. 2015 study from Columbia University warned that parts of the US Southwest and Central Plains might face severe droughts lasting 20 to 50 years by the end of this century. These droughts would be worse than anything seen in the last 1,000 years. They're caused by rising temperatures, more evaporation, and less rainfall. Similar warnings have been made for Southern Europe and Sub-Saharan Africa. Right now, the West is in a 23-year drought, the driest since 800 AD. That's according to UCLA. The Colorado River has lost 20% of its flow. Water shortages are hurting farms. For example, California's almond farms and Spain's olive groves are suffering. Climate models predict a 2 to 4 degrees Celsius rise in global temperatures in the upcoming future. This will make things worse and could reduce crop yields by 30 to 50% in key farming areas by 2070. The US Southwest has seen similar droughts before, including in the 12th, 13th, 16th, and 20th century. The current drought, which began in 2000, is the driest period in at least 1,000 years. Higher temperatures are speeding up evaporation, using up water and hurting farms. This growing dryness isn't only happening in North America. A UN report from December 2024 showed that over the past 30 years, 77.6% of the Earth's land has become drier because of climate change. This has made dry areas 4.3 million square kilometers bigger. It's caused big losses in economies, forced people to move, and caused worse wildfires. Areas like Europe, Brazil, the Mediterranean, Central Africa, and Eastern Asia are being hit the hardest. The need for action is urgent. If we don't act, areas that depend on farming and water will face even bigger challenges. We must reduce greenhouse gas emissions, grow drought-resistant crops, and improve water management. These actions are needed to protect our future. Kerry Emanuel, a professor at MIT, studies how climate change affects hurricanes. His research in 2021 shows that a 2 to 3 degrees rise in global temperatures could lead to more strong hurricanes by 2100. These hurricanes might increase by 10 to 20%, with more rainfall in each storm. This matches what the IPCC reports. Storms have become more frequent and stronger over the last 40 years. The main reason for this is the warming of the oceans. Since 1970, the oceans have warmed by 0.8 degrees Celsius. This provides more energy for storms, making them stronger. From 1979 to 2017, more storms reached Category 3 and higher, especially in the North Atlantic and Southern Indian Ocean. If temperatures rise by 2 degrees Celsius, about 13% of storms could be Category 4 or 5. Between 2019 and 2024, human-caused climate change made wind speeds in Atlantic storms 18 miles per hour faster on average. This has already led to stronger storms like Hurricane Lorenzo in 2019, Hurricane Ian in 2022, and Hurricane Lee in 2023. Along with stronger winds, climate change also causes more rainfall. For example, Hurricane Ian in 2022 had 10% more rain than it would have before global warming. Storms are also getting stronger faster. Hurricane Laura in 2020 grew from Category 1 to Category 4 in just one day. This rapid change makes storms harder to predict and increases the danger to communities. Cities like Houston and Manila could face billion-dollar floods every year by 2050. The combination of stronger winds, heavy rain, and slower storms makes these cities more likely to be hit by huge floods. The growing threat of stronger hurricanes shows why we must improve disaster plans and protect people from the effects of climate change. Climate change is making it harder to live in many parts of the world, especially in places like South Asia, North Africa, and Latin America. The temperature is rising, heat waves are becoming more common, and heat combined with humidity is making it even worse. A 2021 World Bank report says that by 2050, 216 million people could be forced to leave their homes within their own countries, with the worst effects of these regions. A 2015 study warned that wet bulb temperatures over 35 degrees Celsius would make parts of the tropics too hot for people to survive. The human body just can't cool down in these conditions, causing heat stress and even death. The danger is becoming more obvious. In 2022, India had a heat wave with temperatures reaching 49 degrees Celsius, killing hundreds and forcing many people to leave their homes. In 2023, Pakistan saw wet bulb temperatures near 33 degrees Celsius, showing how bad things are getting. By 2080, cities like Lagos and Karachi could face weeks of dangerous heat. Millions might be forced to move to safer places. We need to act fast to protect those at risk. Climate change plans are no longer optional. They are needed now. If we don't do something about rising temperatures, crop failures, water shortages, and rising sea levels, millions of people will have to leave their homes. We don't know when this will happen, but we know it will. The signs are clear, the warnings are right. The time to act isn't tomorrow, it's now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.